presented by Capital One. As we are in Gainesville, Florida for a critical Game 3 to help fill out the road to Omaha. On one side of the bracket, Washington, Mississippi State, North Carolina, Oregon State have already punched tickets. Washington for the very first time. Texas and Texas Tech got there earlier today. Arkansas is up 7-0 in the third on South Carolina. And we finish it up right here in Gainesville, Florida and Auburn in a big-time winner-take-all Game 3. Got him. Singer, another strikeout. I mean, Singer's got it. That's number 9. Coming home is India. The throw, not in time. That ball struck into left field from Maldonado. Back goes Ward to the wall. But a base hit wins the game and forces a Game 3 on Monday. Jarvis left center field. We get a Game 3. We'll see you Monday. Florida had a chance to clinch it yesterday, didn't do it. They're back in familiar territory. Regionals and super regionals a year ago, they were forced themselves essentially into a winner-take-all. Same thing this season. It happened last weekend, and it's happening right now. Dory Noka, Eduardo Perez here in Gainesville for you. Winner-take-all. Florida going with a freshman, Jack Leftwich, to try to get to Omaha.
Yeah, and this is now control your nerves. Forget about it. Full house here in Gainesville. This is all they've been talking about in this town. And now you have Jack Leftwich going in there. And he already pitched in a regional game that was very important for the Gators. He has to be able to control his emotions early in order to be successful. Hit the spots and keep the Auburn Tigers from getting on base early in the game.
Did pitch against Auburn in late April. Gave up a 3-run homer in the first. Nothing else the rest of the way. Meanwhile, for Auburn, they're throwing a fifth-year senior, Andrew Mitchell, but the question isn't as much there as it is the top 4 in the order, Eduardo. They're 3 for 29 in this super.
Yes, they have struggled, but let's give a lot of credit also to the Florida pitching. They've been able to neutralize them. Now, if Auburn wants to go to Omaha, 1 through 4 have to be able to get on base. They have to be able to put pressure on the Gators, and that way, listen, you have to silence this crowd. It's a packed house here.
Florida's the defending national champs. If Auburn wins, we're guaranteed a new champion in Omaha, but Florida would rather not think about that.
The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. What's in your wallet? And in part by Walmart. Discover more ways to shop at Walmart today.
That video from 1997. Auburn won a regional at Florida State. It was before Super Regionals existed, and it was the last time that they went to the College World Series. Since their last College World Series game, they have seen 7,678 days go by. 49 different baseball programs go to Omaha, and they've had 6 different head coaches themselves. It has been a while. Meanwhile, for Florida, they're trying to get there for the 4th consecutive season and 7th time in 9 years, and we are off. First batter of the game, Will Holland. Pop up, shallow center field. Nick Horvath makes the play, 1 down. Eduardo Perez, what are we looking for from the freshman, Jack Leftwich?
Well, first things first, the nerves. Yes, you can say that he's pitched an entire season, that he has already this season under his belt as experience, but at a super regional, it's a different beast. This kid needs and loves to compete. You'll see him with high energy on that mound. That first pitch swinging right there, that was actually a blessing for Coach O'Sullivan and also for that young man on the mound to settle him down.
A lot of focus, as we showed you off the top, of the top 4 in the Auburn lineup. Will Holland, the pop-up, he's now 1 for 10 in this super regional. This is Stephen Williams. He's 1 for 7. His one was a big one yesterday when he hit his 12th home run of the season. Take a look at the lineup. It's one Auburn has been familiar with. Longtime Major League veteran Gabe Gross is the Tigers' hitting coach. Doesn't change it much game to game. The one change has been Judd Ward, who started game 1 and left and is starting game 3.
And keep an eye on the 5-hole hitter, Edward Julian. Already has a home run this season against that young man on the mound.
That ball is skied by Stephen Williams. In comes the left fielder, Austin Langworthy, who had a big home run in the 9th inning to tie the game yesterday, 2 down.
So far, so good. 6 pitches, 2 outs for Jack Leftwich. Last time in the regionals, struggled a little bit with the nerves, being able to locate well. And against Auburn the first time he faced them, That first inning was devastating for him. He was able to settle down later on as the game went on and gave his team a chance to come back and win that ball game.
Brett Wright swings and misses at the fastball. He's 1 for 7 in Gainesville this weekend, and a third pop-up induced by Leftwich. Jonathan India in foul territory makes the play. 8 pitches, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the first in game number 3. Moving to the bottom of the first here in Gainesville, winner take all, game number 3. And Florida's become so accustomed to going to Omaha, looking to do it for the 4th year in a row. They won it all for the very first time last season. They've been to Omaha 6 of the last 8 seasons, of course, all under head coach Kevin O'Sullivan, and they have a ton of NCAA tournament experience. Now, speaking of experience, the man on the mound for the Auburn Tigers, he is a redshirt senior out of New Orleans, Andrew Mitchell. Most of the season has been in that 3-man rotation for Butch Thompson's team.
And usually he'll pitch that Sunday day game. This time it's an 8 o'clock start here in Gainesville. He's going to have to locate the outer half, especially with the fastball. It'll open it up for that changeup he also has. And the experience factor, 23 years of age. He's been around for a while, went to junior college. Now he's competed, and he's done really well in his last 3 starts.
He will start it off against Deacon Lippett, 5'9" junior shortstop, taken in the 10th round by the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Look at that lineup. 2 left-handed hitters, the rest right-handers. That changeup has to work for Mitchell on the mound in order for him to be effective tonight.
Outside corner, strike number 1 from Andrew Mitchell. Mitchell will give you some brilliant starts. He had one a few weeks back against LSU, struck out 9. And then he's got some head scratchers as well. There's a little bit of an unknown element, as is the case with many collegiate pitchers. But his start is always critical, and you get a good idea of what you're in for early on. They would love to get 6 innings from him, but we figure to see multiple pitchers on both sides. And that's a very big start for him as Lippett strikeout swinging as we send it to our studio and match check. Thank you, Matt. Here comes Nelson Maldonado.
Oh, Carson Shaddy, what a postseason he has had for Arkansas.
This was
round pick.
6 super regionals go to game 3. It's the first time that's ever happened. 4 of them today. Frankly, none of the 3 to this point have been overly dramatic with late inning heroics. As Texas took care of Tennessee Tech 5-2. Tennessee Tech tried to put a little run together there in the 9th. Arkansas right now, what they are doing. As Jarvis goes to his left, nearly throws it away. Josh Anthony, though, saves him there, 2 down. And Texas Tech ended up taking care of Duke. So perhaps this would be the scene of that game 3 drama.
Well, the do factor, why not? Why not let the last game left standing be the dramatic one?
I'm in. You in?
Oh,
we're good for that. Here's Jonathan India, the SEC's Player of the Year. 19 home runs on the season. By far, there's 2 players essentially in this Florida lineup that hit lefties well. He's one of them at 383. The other one is in the hole right now, Austin Langworthy. But India, deep right center field, tracking back is Estes. It's gone.
Well, I said it earlier in the Paul Feinbaum show, and I've said it all the time. If the Florida Gators want to go back to Omaha, it's going to be on the shoulders of this man right here. Fastball, outer half, Jonathan India. Not cutting his swing at all, left on right. Man, oh man, this is a strong man. 5th pick in the country. Cincinnati Reds. That'll leave Great American Ballpark.
That might leave it twice in the water balloon challenge. Occasionally over the course of the weekend, we've seen the target of the water balloons wearing a mask. Not this time. That is 95 home runs on the season now for Florida, third in school history. It's their fourth in this Super Regional. It's number 20 on the season for India.
Spoke early about Mitchell being able to dominate that outer half. That's a way to combat it. Not try to do too much with the baseball. Go and where it's pitched. If it's pitched away, drive it that way. Jonathan India is strong enough to do so. And this guy right here, Will Dalton, the same way. We saw it in game one, going opposite field off the wall, driving in 2 big runs for the Gators.
Dalton, like his friend India, enters the game with 19 home runs. Now he finds himself one behind Jonathan.
Going to be tough to be able to maneuver against this right-handed heavy lineup that the Gators are featuring. We saw the curveball work really well against Lippett. First hitter, he threw it back-to-back, nasty action.
There's a strike from the fifth-year senior Andrew Mitchell.
And a well-located pitch.
Back on April 28th, Mitchell and Leftwich met here in this very ballpark. Showed you Leftwich's numbers earlier. After the 3-run homer he gave up in the first inning, he settled in nicely, didn't give up another run. That day, though, did not go as well for Andrew Mitchell. 3 innings, 4 runs, all earned, 4 hits, 4 walks.
Going to have to learn how to lay off that curveball. He'll rarely throw it for a strike.
Popped up, shallow right. Luke Jarvis, the second baseman, makes the play. But Florida's been waiting for Jonathan India to get going. Just 1 for 7 in the Super until that. Home run number 20. Chomp chomp. 1-zip Gators. As we head into inning number 2. At McKeithen Stadium on the campus of the University of Florida. Jonathan India, first inning home run, the difference in this winner-take-all game number 3.
No secret so far what the Auburn Tigers want to do. And that's swing and swing early. So far 10 pitches in this game, and they've already swung at 6 of those.
Brendan Venter 0 for 6 in this Super Regional. That ripped sharply right up the middle, and Auburn's got its first base runner.
You have a 0-2 count. You have a hitter that's already swung at the first 2 pitches. This is too good of a pitch. Look where the target is, down and away. Instead, ball stays out over the plate. Jack Leftwich is lucky enough that that ball was hit on a line instead up in the air. Too good of a pitch for an 0-2.
Here comes the top RBI man in the Southeastern Conference, just a freshman out of Quebec, Edouard Julien. Julien waiting to get unleashed here. He himself just 1 for 7.
See those 17 home runs he had in the season?
I do.
He knows exactly who he hit them from. And one of them is standing right there on that bump.
Indeed he is.
Makes you feel really comfortable at the plate.
That doesn't. Take a look at what happened April 28th. Julien facing Leftwich and rip. That was in the first inning. Leftwich found trouble in that. It hit a batsman, walked a batter, had a wild pitch. Julien made him pay, but after that, Leftwich settled in.
That was a changeup. Just like that pitch right there. Pitch up in the zone. In order for Leftwich to be successful, that pitch has to be thrown lower with a lot more tail.
Julien in that April series had 2 3-run homers off of Gator pitching. The difference in familiarity with Omaha, Nebraska, Florida. 6 of the last 8 seasons, 3 in a row, including a national title a year ago. Auburn, 4 trips, none since 1997. And Leftwich gets Julien.
He went up in the zone to go get it. Made Julian chase. 0-2. Hitters will expand with that uppercut swing. That ball was by him.
So in comes the 5'10 senior center fielder, Jay Estes. Young man from the state of Florida. 2 for 7 in this super regional. Off speed, 0-1.
Good speed, going to be tough to double up. Any ground ball. Infield has to know that. They just have to secure one.
Venter on first. Fly ball left field. Langworthy's got a long way to go. Going out though from short is Lippett, who makes the play in foul territory. 2 down.
Really good communication out there in that triangle spot between the left fielder, shortstop, and Jonathan India at third base. Lippett did the right thing. It's his ball until his left fielder calls him off.
So here stands the hero for Auburn yesterday, Luke Jarvis, who had the walk-off winner in the 9th to force tonight's game 3. Jarvis was 0 for 7 with 3 strikeouts over the weekend before that walk-off off of Michael Byrne. And he shows bunt. He lays down one. Leftwich going to have to make the play, and he does. The leadoff single doing no damage to the Gators. Midway through the second, 1-0.
Hank Aaron was in the dugout alongside Orlando Cepeda, Roberto Clemente. I can keep going. Want me to keep naming guys?
Give me a couple more.
Ernie Banks, Maz. They were all there in that dugout in Anaheim. 15th inning. Home run. Tim Kirchin, Dave Fleming will be along for the call. I don't know if you saw in the background of that picture.
I saw a guy that looked like you.
I photobombed that picture.
So
did my mom, too.
I did see that.
Classic.
Here's
Patuca making the photobombing.
Oh, Langworthy hit on the back. All right, let's see it again. We got one more.
Yeah. Check it out. To the right, that's the Hank right there. You see my mom?
I do.
Next to the statue at the Hall of Fame. And that's me looking at some stuff. This is through a mirror, which is really cool. And that's my youngest daughter's hair. There, I'm explaining to her history of the game. But it's fantastic. The Hall of Fame, Cooperstown. Oh, really proud of that man right next to Hank Aaron, my dad, Tony Perez.
No, she should be. My goodness.
Atanasio.
After the hit by pitch, Langworthy stands on first. Here's the second baseman, Blake Reese. So how well did you get to know Hank Aaron through your dad?
Well, let me put it this way. Growing up, I was spoiled, and my dad ended up going to 7 All-Star games. And every All-Star game that my dad went to, Hank Aaron was a part of. So you're in the clubhouse, you're seeing greatness all around, and Hank is one of those players that I got spoiled being around as a kid.
Reese, pop up. Stephen Williams, the right fielder, puts it away. Did you realize as a kid, Eduardo Perez, how spoiled you were?
No.
You were living every kid's dream.
No, because it's the only life
That's what you know.
It's all I know. And everyone's like, well, the pressure. But to me, it's you go to the ballpark with your dad. You go shag balls when you're a little bit older. When you're younger, you go with your mom, and then you play in the tunnels with the likes of Ken Griffey Jr., Pete Rose Jr., my brother, you name it, the Helms,
fantastic.
The McRae's. So it's still,
it's incredible. I love my dad to death, but when I went to work with my dad, it was watch him draw up plans for electrical systems. You know, look at these two. How about
awesome is this?
Yes, absolutely. Florida head coach's son on the left, Gabe Gross, Auburn hitting coach son on the right. Let me tell you a funny story about these kids. It's amazing how invested they are in the game. This morning in the hotel, I run into Gabe and his son Jake. And Gabe's talking about an instance in a game that happened earlier in the season. Now, Jake's got Gabe's phone, and he's sitting there, and he's looking down at the phone like many kids are. He's going into second grade, so that's how it is. He's looking at this thing, and I said, what game was that? What game that happened? And Gabe's thinking, trying to rack his brain, trying to figure this out. Jake never looks up from the phone and he goes, "Oh, miss."
I'm not in shock.
No, I know.
I really am not, because it's what you're amazed at what the kids will pick up, listen, and pay attention to. And let's face it, I mean, they're a sponge. They see things, they don't forget.
Kevin O'Sullivan's son Finn is as well known in these parts as Sully himself is. Nice stop from right, but on ball number 4.
Oh, that's a hit.
No, that is a hit. Batsman Horvath did get hit. So now Florida in real business with 2 on and 1 away, and Andrew Mitchell's got to pull it together right now. Let's see just where Horvath got hit.
Yep, right off the
toe,
as I would say, the bunion.
Can I go with toe?
Okay,
yeah.
You can do that.
So now a little meeting at the mound. Out to talk to Mitchell is Steve Smith, pitching coach for Auburn.
There's meetings everywhere right now.
There are meetings everywhere. Kevin O'Sullivan out to speak with his hitter Brady Smith, who's playing for the first time in this Super. And you know, last night talking to Butch Thompson, he said we're gonna empty the bullpen if we need to. Nobody's gonna get much of a leash here. Now Steve Smith, you may know if you follow college baseball, it is his first year as Auburn's pitching coach, but for 21 seasons before this, he was the head coach at Baylor. Took them to a College World Series, their first in almost 30 years.
And before that, he was the pitching coach at Mississippi State in 1990. And Florida State, which I was on that team, we ended up losing in Starkville. They ended up going to the World Series. And he came up to me and he goes, "Eduardo, you remember that line drive you hit right back up the middle in the 8th inning, double play, inning
it's
over?"
It's amazing, isn't it?
I said, "Absolutely, I remember." He goes, "I enjoyed every bit of it."
I'm sure he did.
So thank you.
2 on for Brady Smith. Brady Smith, hard hit to short, nicely played by Holland to second for 1, and they turn 2. Will Holland, as good defensively as short as you will find. And how about the exhale from Mitchell? Breathe, young man. Your defense bailed you out. Holland, Jarvis, Anthony, threat over. 1-0. You're watching the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Deciding Game 3 in Gainesville, Florida, as the Gators take on Auburn. Dorinoka, Eduardo Perez with you here. 8-9-1 up for the Tigers here in the 3rd. Judd Ward, Josh Anthony, and then Will Holland. Ward, part of a 2-man platoon in left field for Auburn. He started the first game, did not start yesterday's game 2, did come in as a defensive replacement for Connor Davis, who got the start. The double play that we just saw Florida ground into, the 4th they've grounded into in the last 11 innings. It's been a bit of a rally killer.
Give a lot of credit to the defense also for being able to make those plays, not panic. You end up looking at Jarvis at second base. He's been so good turning 2 at second base, getting the feeds from Venture and Holland.
So the 2-2 coming from the freshman Leftwich to the freshman Ward. Do it again.
Like that swing, protecting the zone. You have to be able to expand right there. You're fouling one off. It's not the pitch you're looking for, but you do not want to put it in Adam Dowdy's hand behind the plate.
Just off the edge, counts full. And the Gator crowd, as you might expect, believe that was not the correct call, but it certainly looked to be from here. Ward, fly ball, left field. Langworthy.
He lost it, did he?
Nope. For more coverage of the Division I baseball tournament and your interactive brackets, go to NCAA.com. 6 of the 8 spots are full in another all-SEC Super Regional Game 3. Arkansas leading South Carolina in the 4th. It is 7-2 as the Razorbacks in that offense put up 5 in the first. Josh Anthony, 3 for 6 so far in the Super. He's been really good, and he was really good coming into it. Most outstanding player in Auburn's Raleigh Regional win last weekend. Plays a pretty solid first base as well.
Yeah, they've learned that he can handle the off-speed pitch really well. Josh Anthony has really turned it on in the second half of the season. You watch his swings, anything on the inside part he falls back on, not feeling too comfortable with. But he stays so well on that breaking pitch. Already 2 hits off a curveball and a changeup that have really hurt the Florida Gators.
Second strikeout of the night for Leftwich.
Again, pitch on the inside, exactly where Coach O'Sullivan wants to locate against Anthony. And watch when he swings. Look where he falls back on. Trying to clear the hips, falls back. Want to fall forward on anything or keep the balance right there on his heels. That's great location by that Gator right there.
The strikeout has been a key for Florida pitchers. Started on Saturday in Game 1 with Brady Singer, who was sensational after a little bit of a choppy start. Jackson Coar, his future Kansas City Royal teammate, dynamite as well in game number 2. Top of the order, here's Holland. And Leftwich looks really comfortable right now, Eduardo.
He's got a good pace going. Also already waiting, gets back on that rubber quickly.
Back up the middle. Really no play for either Lippett or Reese. That'll be a base hit for Holland. What a job Butch Thompson has done. Year number 3 as the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. First year he's assembled the staff they have now with Steve Smith, the pitching coach, and Gabe Gross. And he's done a remarkable job. And this was his plan. He said, I was an assistant for over 20 years, and I watched head coaches that let me work. And his specialty, I think, one is recruiting. He just pulled in the 4th best class in the country a year ago. But also letting Steve Smith coach, letting Gabe Gross coach, and just overseeing the program. And for a relatively young head coach with his first major job, that's unusual.
Yeah, 20 years of experience will do that. And I think it's the men he used to coach behind that they allowed him to be the best coach possible. He understands that. You start trying to micromanage the pitching, you start trying to micromanage the hitting, that's where you get in trouble. And his background is pitching.
He was a pitching coach at Mississippi State. He was a pitching coach at Georgia. He was an Auburn assistant from 2006 to 2008. As we have a meeting on the mound now, Florida head coach Kevin O'Sullivan heads that way. What might be the message here?
Settle down. He has a young man on the mound. He knows that what he can do. This is a second time around the lineup. You cannot fall behind these hitters, especially Stephen Williams yesterday hit a blast for a home run. Has to be able to locate.
Yeah, Williams hit one into the bullpen that India hit one in earlier. That was in game 2. And the Leftwich down 2-0. Here we go.
They're playing the shift on the infield, straight away center field. First time. They did it the first time in his at-bat. It's the second time in this series that they're doing this against Williams. They had not done it in the previous 2 games. Probably want to stay away from him, not meet him halfway at his power.
come back to even it up 2-2. Leftwich on the year, better than a strikeout per inning pitched. Came in 76 Ks in 70 innings of work. Check on Holland over at first, nothing doing. Holland at the end of this season, the regular season, was as hot as anybody around the Southeastern Conference. Cooled off though when he got to Gainesville. They need him to be good to have a shot to go to Omaha for the first time since 1997. Holland's going, throw down, bag is stolen, and for Holland it's his 9th steal and 11 tries.
It's actually an important steal, and the reason being now the defense is now going to have to switch up. First it's 2-2 count, gets a good jump, easy, but now Jonathan India has to move closer to the bag at third base, vacating that area at shortstop that he had occupied.
3-2, 2 outs. Base hit likely ties the game. That ball into right field. The stolen base was big. Holland coming home. The throw wide. It's 1-1.
Ends up beating the shift between the second baseman, or first baseman, and second baseman. That's why usually with 2 outs, you see that second baseman playing a little bit deeper. There's no reason to be playing this shallow if you're doing the shift. It's not like Smith is the fastest, Williams is the fastest guy. Second baseman has to be in the grass, knock everything down with a runner at second base. With the speed of Holland, he scores easily. We got a new ball game, folks.
And with that, we get Brett Wright fouled out in the first, his first time up. Well hit left field. That's another Tigers hit. And the second of the weekend for Brett Wright.
Earlier in the game, we talked about the 1 through 4 hitters struggling in the first 2 games as the Florida Gators pitching staff has been able to neutralize them. In the first inning, 1 through the first inning, 1 through 3, they went down in order. Venture got a hit. He's a cleanup hitter. This time, Holland, Williams end up getting a hit. They end up scoring a run. This is the part of the lineup that the Gators have to neutralize in order for them to think Omaha for another year.
Well, it's a great point. We highlighted it off the top. 1 through 4 coming into the game in this Super Regional were 3 for 29. Hitters number 1, 2, 3, and 4 all have a hit. They've already got 4 from that group. That was the key for Auburn. 4 for 7 right now, hitters 1 through 4, and this is hitter number 4, Brendan Venter.
Crossed him up. Nice adjustment right there by Duran, because that pitch was supposed to be a fastball. Instead, the breaking ball stayed up. But watch Duran behind the plate. All these complicated signs with a runner at second base. I'm expecting fastball, and instead,
that moved a little more than I was expecting. There is action right now in Kevin O'Sullivan's Gator bullpen as another freshman, Tommy Mace, who is certainly suited for long relief if needed, is now getting loose.
Second time around the lineup, hasn't been able to get an out yet.
There is Mace, another freshman. Strike 2. That the 26th pitch of the inning for Leftwich after throwing a total of 20 in the first 2 innings. Two on, 2 out in the Auburn third. Winner to Omaha. Venter left field. Langworthy up. Inning over. Auburn able to tie it. Stephen Williams delivers the RBI. Will Holland scores. We're tied at 1. That will be, let's see here, game Saturday here for you, game Sunday here, game Monday here, game in Atlanta tomorrow, game in New York on, that's 5 in 5.
And then fly to Omaha and get it going.
Here we go, bottom 3, 9, 1, and 2 up. To say Jonah Durand has struggled this weekend would be an understatement. He's 0 for 7, and he has 5 strikeouts. How big was the double play that ended the second in terms of maybe resetting the mentality of the senior pitcher Andrew Mitchell?
That visit of Coach Smith going to the mound, resetting that mentality completely, it was huge. Huge. You get that double play, now you get to start with a 9-hole hitter at the plate. I thought he went on that one, and let's check out the side swing. Umpires usually have a better view, but right here, Durand, oh, that could have gone either way.
Absolutely.
If you're a Tiger, you're saying, come on, Ed, that's a strike. And I would say, yes, you're right.
I thought he'd probably win as well. Certainly looked like it. Now 2-2. Doesn't matter in the end. Strike 3, and Durand's rough go here in this super continues.
Pitch elevated after the curveball. It's exactly, curveball served its purpose. Make him chase down low. He holds a swing, but that pitch up looks like a cookie. By the time you realize it's out of the zone, it's too late. You can't stop that swing.
2 strikeouts the first time through the order for Andrew Mitchell. And here's the shortstop, Deacon Lippett. Those of you who may not necessarily follow a whole lot of college baseball, or you start to tune in around the time of the College World Series, these Florida names are likely all very familiar to you, as the Gators have been each of the last 3 seasons. Talking to Kevin O'Sullivan, their head coach, before the game, he's like, think about it. Think about it. If we go back, every single player that's been here 4 years will have known Omaha every year of their career. Right. Every player on the roster would have known Omaha every year that they've been here. That's remarkable.
It is.
And 7 in 9 seasons if it happens. I asked him, I said, what if it doesn't happen? What if Auburn gets you tonight? I said, with your level of expectations, as that ball is ripped into center field, Jay Estes going back, it's going to bounce and head to the wall. Lippett on his way to second with his 14th double of the season. So I said, what if it doesn't happen? What if Auburn gets you? I said, would you deem, with all the expectations, defending national champs, would you deem it a failure? He goes, nah, man, you can't be a failure. We're the #1 seed coming into the NCAA tournament. We've been #1 a huge chunk of the season. This is hard. This is why sports are sports. You can't predict exactly what's going to happen. If you had watched Auburn play, they're really good. It would happen. It would be a disappointment, yes. It would not be a failure.
That's unbelievable. Just the perspective that he has and how he sees it. Let's not forget, he does not have his top guy behind the plate, J.J. Schwartz, which is a huge part of their offense, and runs that pitching staff as well as any catcher in NCAA. So that's a big part of their game. Middle part of their lineup, veteran guy, not having him down this stretch.
There he is. Mississippi State series. Last regular season series he was catching. Took a foul tip off of his hand. Broke a bone in the hand. And it's Maldonado deep to left. Will it stay fair? No. It was almost 3-1. But with J.J. Schwartz, it's always been about pain tolerance level, and J.J. just hasn't been there at this point.
I'll tell you where right now. Andrew Mitchell got lucky here. 0-1 pitch. This is too good of a curveball to throw Maldonado. You're going to throw this curveball, it better be down. Once you have a strike on a right-handed hitter, show him the curveball, make him chase out of the zone, but don't hang it. If you hang it, it's going to get hit.
Maldonado, second. Jarvis, 2 down. As Lippett slides over to third.
Pitch on the outer half, good one right there. You get Maldonado off balance. You take the power away from his legs. Move the runner over, but there's 2 outs, and now Jonathan India's at the plate. This is the guy that's already done a lot of damage in the first inning. Pitch away. That's where they pitched him the entire series. And good hitters make adjustment, and Jonathan India is a darn good hitter. First base is open.
But Will Dalton behind him.
If you pitch to him, you don't throw him anything good. You make him chase out of the zone. The problem is this: if you throw that curveball, you better be ready to block that pitch. And Mr. Wright behind the plate better put that chest out in front. See how far that ball is?
They don't want any piece of him. Lippett over at third after his double. And he slid over on the ground a moment ago.
This is the good old intentional, unintentional walk. Don't wake up the guy on deck. Oh, that's a great block. You got a runner at third base. That's having trust in what your craft is behind the plate. Watch him get down. Stays forward. Oh, shades of my old teammate Pedro Grifol back at Florida State back in the day.
You just said Florida State on a broadcast that involves Florida. Well done by you. Yeah, staying away, 3-0.
Might as well throw another one out there. No need to throw a curveball. You don't want to put the 4 fingers up because psychologically, it might wake up the guy on deck. Not what you want. Oh, he's going to put it there.
Yeah, let's just, And that's just simply what? Let's see if he'll chase something early. If not, as India does indeed head over to first.
Okay, now he's looking into the dugout to see first and third. Where is this throw going? If he's going to throw it to second, if he's going to eat it and not throw it at all, or if the throw goes directly to third base. Each team has their own different set of signs. Right here with good speed at third base, your focus has to be on this hitter. If India decides to steal second, you know what? This is your second best hitter in the lineup, Will Dalton. Might pitch around him too.
So India on first, Lippett over on third for the cleanup hitter with 19 home runs, Will Dalton.
Change up.
Dalton and India both really have been asked by Kevin O'Sullivan to pick up some of the slack left by J.J. Schwartz's departure with the injury. And for the most part, they have.
They beat him inside last time. Let's see if they do the same.
That's the attempt, 1-1. It's game 3. Every run is critical, and Florida's got an opportunity now. Another stop from right behind the plate.
And that's a tough one because that's a fastball. You're not taught to block fastballs. You're taught to block sliders, curveballs in the dirt. A fastball, good luck on that. Got this chest in front of it. Mitchell pressing right now. Mr. Wright behind the plate doing a magnificent job. If it goes to 2 strikes, watch Florida. They might put a play on.
Close, but it's ball 3.
That's the take right there. That curveball. Good pitch. Great take. I think he goes back to the changeup. That first pitch he threw him, that 0-0 pitch.
That was strike 1.
Make him chase a little bit. See if he catches him off balance. You go with a fastball here, you're playing with a lot of fire.
Dalton sub 190 against lefties this season. Indy is moving. Dalton, third base. Venter over to first. Auburn escapes potential disaster again. It has not been easy for Andrew Mitchell and company. But this has been a bugaboo for Florida, leaving them on. College World Series coming your way from Omaha, beginning on the 16th, and 6 of the 8 tickets have been punched, including a first-time ticket by Washington. Mississippi State, a remarkable story, getting to the College World Series with a super regional win at Vanderbilt. Arkansas is up on South Carolina in the 5th, 8-2, trying to get themselves there in that critical game 3. And then we will finish up filling out the field here in Gainesville tonight. 5, 6, and 7. Edouard Julien struck out in the 2nd. 1 for 8 in the super.
They've been attacking him with fastballs away. Yeah, they change pace once in a while. They'll throw the changeup. But it's been fastballs away, away, away. So fast, so quick on anything down and in. A vicious swing Julien possesses.
2-1 from the freshman Leftwich. 3-1. These two teams over the course, one of the stories of this super regional has been missed opportunities, and for Auburn it really hit them hard in game 1 in the first 3 innings, leaving runners on after getting guys on early. Florida, it's hit them a little bit throughout, as the Gators are 3 for 21 with runners in scoring position. Taking advantage of opportunities a key in game 3.
Love that visit right there by Jonathan India. Walked the leadoff hitter. This is a veteran presence right there that India has. He does not want this to be his last game as a Gator. First round pick.
Well, then don't sign with the Reds.
He's signing. I'm telling you right now, that guy's signing.
Doesn't have to. I mean, it doesn't have to be as well.
He's signing. 5th pick, he's signing.
Here's Estes. He's just a junior. That's my point.
I get it. He's signing.
He better.
Look at all the negotiations. Sorry.
You have leverage, young man. Just missed inside to Leftwich.
Yeah, another visit, good visit here. 2-0. Coach O'Sullivan so far hasn't been able to throw a strike in this inning. 6 in a row. Go out, calm the young man down.
Hope you've been checking it out, but just a reminder, for more coverage of the Division I baseball tournament and interactive brackets, make sure you go to NCAA.com. Live brackets. It's almost filled out. 2 SEC teams still need to punch tickets, and the 2 remaining game 3s going on right now as you see what Leftwich has put together. What's your assessment to this point here in the 4th?
So far, really good from the young right-hander. Been able to, the first time around the lineup, got through it with a breeze. Then he encountered some issues with the top half of the lineup, hit after hit with 2 outs. Needs to try to get a ground ball right here.
So leadoff man is Julien, standing on first after the walk.
Good speed at the plate with Estes.
Good speed at first, too. That will get out of play. 2 Gators warming up. Freshman Tommy Mace, number 47 on your left. On your right, Tyler Dyson. And Dyson's interesting. Dyson hasn't pitched since May 8th. He really started the season well. In fact, he was in their weekend rotation. Started struggling a little bit. Started dealing with some injuries. As Estes pops that one sky high. Shortstop Lippett calls off India. First out of the inning. And they've just kind of been waiting for Dyson, who was incredibly key in game 3 of their super regional here a year ago against Wake Forest. Gave him, I think, 5 strong innings. Kind of saved him after Brady Singer was chased after 2 innings because of a long weather delay. But Dyson went up to Kevin O'Sullivan, said, "Coach, let's go. I'm ready to go." He gave him the okay, so look for Dyson to get into this game. Luke Jarvis out on an attempted bunt single try. His first time up.
You know what I just noticed?
What's that?
2 years ago, Super Regional, Florida wins 10-0. Game 3 to go to Omaha. Last year, they won 3-0 to go to Omaha. Auburn scored a run. They hadn't allowed a run in the last 2 Super Regionals in Game 3.
Times are changing. They love these elimination games, though, does Florida. Jarvis, high, left field, well foul. Julien, by the way, was on the move on the pitch.
Was on the move, and it was actually a really good jump if it was a hit and run. I think he probably was going on his own. Saw something, and at the same time, Jarvis saw a hanging breaking ball that he could not lay off. A little too quick. Now he'll do exactly what he did yesterday. Choke up on the bat with 2 strikes.
The 1-2 to Jarvis. Boy, got him on the breaking ball. Was not looking for that pitch. Third strikeout of the night for Leftwich.
Well, he's challenging him with fastballs, and this time went back-to-back hook on him. Curveball. Once he leaves his feet, can't pull the trigger, and he knew it.
Here's Judd Ward, the left fielder. Gators have enjoyed incredible success in Game 3 of Super Regionals. They are 3-0 all time in Game 3s. And in each of their last 6 Supers, they've won to go to Omaha. This would be number 7. Only North Carolina has ever done that.
Going more to his curveball now. After Coach O'Sullivan went to the mound, lost a little bit of the feel of the fastball. When in trouble, he's gone to that hook.
Julien moving, throw to second. In time, they get him. Jonah Duran with the strike to second. Lip at the tag. Julien out. We stay tied. No. McKeithen Stadium, Gainesville, Florida. Dorinoka Eduardo Perez. As you see, the winner goes to Omaha. Auburn hasn't done it since pre-Super Regionals in 1997. And Omaha is old hat to the Gators, who have been there 3 years in a row and 6 of the last 8. But here we are, tied up as we go into the bottom of the 4th. And Austin Langworthy, who yesterday in Game 2 hit a 9th inning home run that may be still airborne. And it was his first in this park all season. Tied the game before Auburn walked it off in the bottom of the ninth.
It's a good curveball against lefties. Saw it earlier, strike out Lippett. He's been hurt with the fastball, hit by pitch to Langworthy, and then a double against Lippett. Look for another breaking ball.
You're right. Yep. 2-2 now. It is packed here at McKeithen Stadium. I mean, you're talking standing room only. And why wouldn't it be for a winner take all to Omaha? Southeastern Conference rivals. You got the tents up. You got people under the tents. You got the bleachers in left are all full.
Best show in Gainesville right now.
Not bad. Might be people in right if it weren't dotted with palm trees. 2-2. Ground ball. First base. Nicely played, Anthony. The flip. The out. Don't forget, coming your way Tuesday, a very special night of baseball. During the Mets-Braves game, we'll feature Hank Aaron videos, and he'll even join the booth for at least 4 innings. Our coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. You can also watch on the ESPN app from anywhere. And Eduardo Perez on that call alongside Tim Kirkchin
And Dave Fleming. Looking forward to it.
One out for Reese. Reese, left center field, towards the gap. Cut off before it gets to the wall by Ward. Reese slides his way into second with a double. 16th of the year.
That's what you're supposed to hunt for. Pitch up in the zone. See where the catcher wants it right. Instead, pitch stays up and Reese drills it into left center gap. Good hustle all the way to second from this Tallahassee native. Tallahassee kid ending up in Gainesville.
How about it, huh? Happens from time to time.
Yep. We have a colleague that did
You're
that.
a Miami kid that ended up in Tallahassee.
A Puerto Rico kid that ended up in Tallahassee, living in Miami.
That ended up in Miami. I got you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Let's be clear.
I got you all out of order, man. Nick Horvath now with a runner in scoring position, which has not been good to the Gators this weekend.
And I must add, we have a colleague, David Ross, which started his collegiate career in Auburn, then transferred here to Gainesville, and he's from Tallahassee.
How about that? Hello, David Ross. I'm sure he's watching.
That's why he picked up dancing.
Okay, that seems like a different story. You're not going to leave us hanging as that goes in the dirt. 2-0 to Horvath.
Well, he ended up at Dancing with the Stars, so you might as well go there.
Yes, gotcha. I thought you meant like he was taking like dance classes or something.
No, he danced his way through the SEC and then ended up with a championship ring.
I'm with you there. Reese on second. 2-0 from the senior Mitchell. Horvath up the middle. Stopped by Holland. He may stop a run. Oh, man, that was close. Reese got a little far off third, but he got back.
And Holland hesitated. If he would have thrown this ball to third base, he had Reese dead to right. Right here, Reese is thinking, I'm going to score on this ground ball at the middle, but look at the range that Holland has. Right here, dives for it. Veteran guys throw that ball immediately to third base, knowing that there's going to be hesitation as soon as he sees Coach Bell's hands up in the air.
That,
holds on to it.
May be the second run of this game that he has stopped because of his play at shortstop. Will Holland has been huge for Auburn in the field. So here's Brady Smith. Now that double play that Holland started was hit by Brady Smith, who had not played Saturday, did not play Sunday. This is his first start in this series, and he's up with a big moment in the fourth.
Good curveball right there. Get me over. Now, he should not throw that curveball again. If he throws it, it has to be in the dirt, down, or outside. Do not hang that curveball. Brady Smith saw the arc of that curveball. That's what veteran guys do that depend on the hook. Good pitch.
Oh, go from the curve to the 91-mile-an-hour cheese.
Staying away. Perfect. Gators have struggled as of late in situations like this.
Smith on the season with runners in scoring position, hitting .241, 7 for 29. The 0-2 from Mitchell coming. Got him.
That's the veteran presence right there. 23-year-old redshirt senior. He knows that this curveball has to be in the dirt, and you have to trust that man behind the plate. Right, doing a fantastic job keeping that ball in front of him, not trying to catch it, just blocking it.
And his play diving into shallow center to prevent Reese from scoring. Keep in mind, that's why we're 1-1 right now. That's Will Holland, the shortstop. Jonah Duran stepping to the plate. You like to say do factor? When you're 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts on the weekend, you might be due.
Something you cringe on doing, especially with the 9-hole hitter right here. You have 2 outs. So far, Durand has struggled 0 for 8 in this series. They pitched him well. They pitched him up in the zone. Don't be surprised if Coach O'Sullivan puts a play on right here. Maybe a double steal. Try to get the runner at first to take a bigger lead.
Jonah Durand really just became the starting catcher in the regionals. J.J. Schwartz, that's his job. Kevin O'Sullivan, he'd had Jonah Durand as the bullpen catcher almost all season. In Hoover, we're having a conversation with Kevin O'Sullivan. He says, I got this guy, and I think I'm going to throw him because he looks like he can hit a little bit. 1-2. Puts him in regionals. What's Jonah Durand do? He goes out, hits 3 home runs. He's the regional most outstanding player here last weekend. But since he started seeing Auburn pitching, he has really, really struggled.
Got to be aware of that curveball in the dirt. You're the runner at third base, and right now, a bigger lead at first base.
Going home, look out! Lippitt's going home, he stole it! Blake Reese stole home, I beg your pardon. Now going to third is Horvath, he's thrown out.
I wish Horvath wouldn't have done that last part. But oh my, the Gators have just stolen a run. 2-1 and a 4.
Blake Reese just stole home to put Florida ahead in game 3. But there was something to this play, Eduardo.
This is a lot of fun right here. Watch Blake Reese at first base. Watch Horvath at first base. He takes off, dives head first right there, and then once he falls, and it's an anticipated fall. It's a great setup. Catches Mitchell's attention on the mound, and oh my, Blake Reese, he takes over and steals it.
Let's bring in head coach of the Auburn Tigers, Butch Thompson, right now. It's a strange thing. You never know what you're going to see. What was your reaction to it?
Well, we just didn't, handle the play properly, but I am glad that we got at it. I thought it was a little jam. We've been in a couple of jams, and Andrew's really risen to the occasion with runners on base. But, we're trying to full-arm fake, so the runner at third's a priority. And once we stepped off, you got to find that runner at third is the first thing that you're asked to do, and he got caught and distracted.
Yeah, besides that play right there, your 1 through 4 in the lineup have struggled in the first 2 games. Tonight, they've come alive. What have you seen from them?
We're just going to need to. The first time through, Leftwich really had his way with his fastball, and hopefully we're drawing near and can put some stuff together here.
Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck here.
Thank you.
That was incredible. Leftwich remains out there. And a bunt attempt laid down by Ward. India with the play. He has struggled throwing to first in moments where he has time. This was different. Simply run, pick it up, and fire.
Yeah, completely different right there. When you don't have to think about it, you're coming do or die play at third base. Jonathan India stays low to the ground and makes a nice play to Keenan Bell at first base that takes over defensively.
So Josh Anthony steps in. Anthony sends that one into the people. You mentioned the defensive replacement at first. Keenan Bell takes over for Brady Smith. Now, Brady Smith got the start essentially because a lefty has been on the mound in Andrew Mitchell. Keenan Bell is superior defensively at first base, and he's in now.
And I love the move, and reason being, he was essentially the last out of that inning, the last hitter of that inning. He won't come up potentially for another 3 innings at most. So at that time, Wright won't be in, Mitchell won't be in the game. You'll get a right-hander, you get your defenses will be a lot better, and then you'll have the guy you want against the righty up at the plate.
Anthony. Reese. 2 down. And watching Reese, you saw after he stole home, he went head first and looked like he jammed up his shoulder into the shin pad of the Auburn catcher, Brett Wright, and he lay there for a moment.
Yeah, I cringed a little bit when I saw him dive head first. I think we had a nice camera angle from the left field camera well. And I'm telling you, he's coming in and he goes head first, and this is why it's a big no-no to go head first. Something could happen to your hand or your shoulder. Wright puts that shin guard and that leg right in the way.
Whew. And that ball is skied up by Holland. There's your defensive replacement, Bell. Easy inning for the Gators. Well, I believe we have something to talk to Kevin O'Sullivan about. We'll do it in a moment. The head coach of the Florida Gators, national championship head coach Kevin O'Sullivan. That play at the end of the fourth, stealing home with Blake Reese. Nick Horvath falls down at first. That was part of the plan. Explain that to us.
Yeah, it's just a left-handed move. Usually it's with 2 outs and 2 strikes, and it's really a gimmicky play, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's the first time we ran it all year, but it had speed on both first and third, and just happened to work out for us.
Seriously, Coach, when did you start practicing this play? It wasn't a couple days ago.
No, it's one of those things you practice in the fall, and like I said, it's got to be the right situation, and we do it once or twice a year because it's kind of a gimmicky play.
Yeah, your Coach of the Year accolades are not accidental. Coach, best of luck the rest of the way. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
That's just incredible. What a play. What a moment. And it's 2-1 Gators as we go into the bottom of the fifth. 9-1-2. Durand was actually the one at the plate when Reese stole home, and then Horvath was thrown out at third.
Is that pretty much similar, you would say, to a fake punt in college?
No, that's far less common than a fake punt. Far less common. I don't know what its equivalent would be. A fake punt inside your own 10. I mean, it's just. in this moment.
And you're doing it with a 9-hole hitter up. I wish Horvath would have stayed at second base, because now you don't want this to happen. You would love Lippett to lead off this half of the inning. Horvath took over, went off to third base. I guess he got caught up in the emotion, but you stay at second base. You allow Durand to then either do something effectively with a runner in scoring position, or then you lead off with no outs with Deacon Lippett.
That play, though, from this angle, I'm looking, I see Horvath fall down while Reese is racing. It looked like absolute, utter chaos. And I can imagine to Auburn and to Andrew Mitchell, who's on the mound, you don't see this stuff as Lippett grounds to second. Little bobble, Lippett safe.
What a hustle. Not assuming that Jarvis was going to make the play. Right out the box, Lippett is hustling. Ball's caught in between. One bobble right there, and he beats it out.
Luke Jarvis, too, one of the best defensive second basemen you will see. But the chaos that ensued on that steal of home. Can't imagine if you're Auburn and you're Mitchell. What must be going through your head having to make a decision that quick with something you just don't see.
No, you don't see, and probably this is where Anthony at first base would have to say step off, because it was a bigger lead.
Now you can see that's going to be the end of the night for Andrew Mitchell. They were hoping for 6. They're changing in the 5th. 2-1 Gators. Davis Daniel, the new pitcher for Auburn. Second appearance here in this Super Regional for the sophomore from Montgomery. About an hour or so from the Auburn campus. 19th appearance of the season. ERA's up a little bit. Started the season as a starting pitcher, part of the weekend rotation. Eventually, Mitchell took that spot over.
Took over and drafted by the Brewers in the 11th round. They're looking for innings right now, and he better be quick to the plate, because Deacon Lippett can scoot. Gets really good jumps against right-handed pitchers.
Andrew Mitchell's night is over. Got him into the 5th. And you see his numbers. They would have loved to have had him go a little longer. Again, 6 was ideal. Getting through the 5th would have been nice for them. But let's go back to what happened at the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, as you see Mitchell scratching his head right there. This play is executed right, because you have a senior first base and you have a junior third base. As soon as the runner at first base takes off, runner at third base, you also have to take off. No hesitation whatsoever. Executed as soon as he falls, catches that man's attention right there, Mitchell, and the rest is history.
The fall. Academy Award-winning fall.
And it only works with left-handed pitchers.
Because they're staring that direction. Unbelievable. Here's Maldonado.
All it takes is a slight of hesitation from the pitcher. Watch the hesitation by Mitchell. That's all it takes right there. Uh-oh. Too late. party's over.
So after the error by the always dependable Luke Jarvis, Lippett stands over on first. Oh, 0-2 now. Davis Daniel in game 1 pitched 3 innings. Followed up Casey Mize, who really struggled, did the #1 pick in the draft. Daniel 3 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 hits. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 4. Butch Thompson said there's really only 2 guys that we would not throw in any circumstance. Those would be the 2 starters from this series, Casey Mize and Tanner Burns. Maldonado down swinging. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
Trying to recall back in the good old days, and there was a play in Omaha that was done. I think it was on the defensive side, but Ron Frazier, the University of Miami, used to pull all these trick plays in the past. And if I'm not mistaken, he put this play into play a few times at the University of Miami. But in Omaha and Rosenblatt, remember the hidden ball trick play was made with the fake throw to first base. The entire dugout was in on it also. They sold it, the runners run into second base, and guess what? The pitcher has the ball in his hand. It was against Wichita State. Gene Stevenson was coaching that game.
Jonathan India at the plate. It's not just, I think people think it's simply sometimes, oh, I got talented guys, I just got to fill out the lineup card. Maybe change it every now and again if guys aren't hitting. No, they work on things.
Yes, they do.
They've practiced it, and to do it, as you said, with veterans on base, Horvath falling down, Reese taking off at about that same time, and Mitchell was lost. And anybody that can look and say, how does he not pay attention to the guy at third? I would say, put yourself in his situation and see if you would do any better. It was chaos, but very organized from Florida's perspective. 2-1.
About that respect right there. Breaking ball 2-0. India home run opposite field. First at bat of the game. Second at bat went 3-0. They intentionally walked him. Now you get the 2-0 breaking pitch. Jonathan India makes you think up there on the mound.
Lippett's going. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Not in time. And just somehow Jarvis got enough glove on it to keep it from going into center field.
And Jonathan India was late on this pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Looked like he was sitting off speed, and nice job by Jarvis just knocking that ball down. If not, would have had Lippett at third base. Another visit by Wright to the mound. Saying be smart.
Two outs.
Don't let that fastball late swing fool you.
What's coming?
Good question.
Strike 3. High fastball. Davis Daniel banging his chest after throwing 195 past India. 2, 3, 4 coming up for Auburn. You see the World Series begins 5 days from now. Texas Tech, they get there in critical Game 3 wins today. Texas for the 36th time, more than anybody else. South Carolina, Arkansas over on ESPN2 as we speak, and it's 11-2 Razorbacks in the 5th. In fact, those of us in TV think of these things and realize these things. That game started an hour before ours. We're ahead of it now, pace-wise.
It's what pitching does.
Yep.
Executing pitches, being able to hit your spots, throwing strikes.
Arkansas scored 5 in the first off of South Carolina. Stephen Williams 1-1 from Leftwich, up high 2-1. Three and 1.
This is where Leftwich has to just stay within himself. This is the part of the lineup. Stephen Williams, he knows what he saw yesterday with the home run. He's had trouble trying to get him out today.
Leadoff man aboard. You know, 2 days ago, Auburn fell behind Florida. And Gabe Gross said, he's the hitting coach, there he is, longtime big league veteran, said, we were tight. And in game 2, I wanted to make sure they knew we weren't going to be tight again. So what does he do? He puts eye black on. Gabe Gross doesn't wear eye black. And everybody that is in that Auburn dugout knows Gabe Gross does not wear eye black. But he said, I'm going to come out with eye black. And I'm going to show our guys, look, laugh a little bit, have a little bit of fun. Look what I'll do. I'll go out and do something I've never done before. And then everybody else put on eye black. And it kept them loose. What did they do in game 2? They stayed with it when they were behind. And they come back and they win in walk-off fashion. The little things that coaches think of to keep their guys mentally where they need to be. Kevin O'Sullivan off to the mound again. And let's see. Doesn't look like he's going to make a change. By the way, Kevin O'Sullivan makes every single mound visit for Florida. He is in charge of the pitching staff. As he peeks off into the bullpen. And he will make a change. Leftwich's night comes to a close. Back with a new pitcher in a moment. Over to Matt Schick we go. Matt would well remember Dave Van Horn having taken Nebraska to the College World Series for the first time. And he's becoming a regular with the Razorbacks. Pitching change here in Gainesville. Tommy Mace, another freshman, relieves the freshman Jack Leftwich. Mace has started plenty of games, or at least a handful of games, over the course of the season as a freshman. He has 6 starts. This is 24th overall appearance, though. 5-0 record. 40 strikeouts in 56 2/3 innings of work. Eduardo, fastball, slider, change. He's able to be used in a variety of ways, and this was always Kevin O'Sullivan's plan. When it's time for Leftwich to go, it's time for Mace to take over.
Right, and you wish you would have had Mace with no runners on just to get him a clean inning. Instead, he has a runner at first base, no outs. So now a little pressure is on for him to throw strikes, be quick to the plate, and be effective. Good thing for him is Williams is not a speedster at first base. Has to focus on Brett Wright at the plate.
They were hoping for a big start from the freshman. They got one. Jack Leftwich has given them every opportunity to go back to Omaha.
He really did. He was under composure that first inning, came out 1-2-3. In the last inning also, the 5th inning, it was a 1-2-3 quick innings for Jack Leftwich. Got in a little trouble maybe with those 2 walks, but besides that was able to hit his spots and keep Auburn at bay with 1 run through 5+ innings.
Mace, by the way, has faced Auburn this season. He's thrown 3 innings of work against them, given up 2 runs and 4 hits. The Florida bullpen has been fantastic in the postseason. As you see the numbers they've put up, 1.41 ERA, just 3 earned runs allowed. The Eduardo Perez tour of baseball games continues on Wednesday. It's presented by Hankook Tires. Between two of the top teams in baseball, the Nationals, the Yankees, playing the second game of their series. Coverage begins 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Who you with in that one? Can you keep them all straight?
Boog and set.
Okay, you can. Well done.
Looking forward to that one, too.
So let's see. Your travel has gone Gainesville, back to Miami, Gainesville.
That's right.
Atlanta, New York.
New York, back to
Omaha.
Miami, back to Miami for a couple hours. Grab a couple things, and then out to Omaha later on that day.
You've got some miles you can use at some point. Is that right? Yeah.
Maybe. You need some?
A few million. Here's Brett Wright, the catcher, who's been really good behind the plate over the course of the day. Williams over at first. As you said, not a threat to steal. That's a little pop-up. Shallow right field. Reese going back. And he makes the play for the first out in inning number 6. That'll bring up the cleanup man, Brendan Venter. Venter singled in the second, flew to left in the third. Junior out of Flower Mound, Texas, but grew up originally in South Africa, where he played another sport with a bat and a ball, cricket.
Should be good on low pitches then, right?
Right.
That's what you're telling me?
Throw me in the dirt.
I always wondered what major league hitter would be really good at the sport of cricket. You just put him in there. I always came up with two names, Ichiro and Vladimir
I was going to
Guerrero.
say Vlad Guerrero because he could hit anything, anywhere. If it's thrown in the ballpark, he could hit. In tight on Venter. So freshman are the two arms so far for the Gators. Mace, 6'6" from Tampa. Laid back. Nice veteran approach, though he is young. That ball gets away from Durant and off into scoring position now goes Stephen Williams. Didn't this game feel like yesterday's game too? Every run, every 90-foot advancement is just critical.
Just no sun.
It's about 15 to 20 degrees cooler.
Yeah, Pedro Gomez letting me know Geronimo Barroa would be also good at cricket. Name from the past.
Glad Pedro's watching. One of 6 game threes in these super regionals. That's an NCAA tournament record.
Such a different look that they're seeing from Mace than they were from Leftwich. A lot of run on his ball. Goes on the inside part of the plate. Saw why Durant struggled with that pitch that got by him, taking away the possibility for a double play. You're India at third base. You better be aware right now. Better be on your toes.
Let's do it again. You talk about guys that might be due. Auburn's best hitter in critical moments over the course of the season is due. And that is Edouard Julien, the freshman out of Quebec City, Quebec. 1 for 8 in this super regional. 69 RBIs. It's an SEC leading mark. Auburn freshman record, passing Frank Thomas. He stands on deck with 1 out. But first, Venter. High pop-up. Lip at the shortstop says, I got it. 2 down. And now Julien gets his chance. And RBI number 70 would tie the game.
1 for 8. You're making the call on who's due. And you're right. Edouard Julien is. You see him open those eyes. Focus on Mace.
Just missed outside, did Mace. Julien, an interesting story out of Quebec City, really discovered on the under-18 Canadian team. French-speaking household in Quebec. Parents speak virtually no English. He spoke very little. In fact, knew more Spanish than English when he arrived on the plains. Butch Thompson had to relate to him any way he could when he was meeting with him.
Love to see Coach speak some French or Spanish.
Butch apparently thinks he can speak it better than he can speak it, according to Edouard. But Edouard, over the last year, as he got to Auburn in the summer, has spoken English beautifully. Probably a strike in any language.
Must have a little French-Canadian Southern drawl to that English.
You imagine that culture shock, by the way? He likes to say War Eagle in French. I won't try. 3-1 now to Julien.
It's a great take right there. Change up. Not the pitch he wanted, even though he's a low ball hitter. You know what? You have the righty Estes on deck. I wouldn't give in to him right here, even though that is the go-ahead run. No reason to just throw a cookie. He has the ability to drive himself in with one pitch.
They didn't want him. They didn't want him to drive himself in. Second walk of the night for Julien, and Estes does indeed stride to the plate. He's been harmless with the bat so far tonight. Fouled out, and then he popped up sky high to lip it.
Right now, you're Duran behind the plate. You have to be able to tell your infielders, knock this ball down. I don't care how you do it. Any ground ball, dive, knock it down. Keep that runner from second from scoring.
Estes hitting .444 with runners in scoring position. It's a number you like, but he's down 0-1.
Good slider with good tilt. Also has that fastball that'll run into the hands of the right-handed hitters.
Mace coming right at him.
He was guessing slider, and he got a cookie.
What would you be guessing now if you're Estes?
Gotta look fastball up. Adjust.
One and two. You think the 5,000 or so here know what's on the line? They've gotten used to this. But they care deeply. Regroup. Let's go. Estes, left field. Back is Langworthy. It was a scary out for Florida. Let's go back 3 seasons, shall we? Florida State, runner on first, falls down, the steal of home successful. Have we seen this again since then?
I believe so. They did it against my Knowles. Why not now here against Auburn? You have 2 veteran guys at the plate. Key is the guy at third base. As soon as he goes, guess what? You as a guy at first, you go, fall down, catch the attention of the pitcher and Coach O'Sullivan. He's seen it work, and he'll continue to do it. All he has to do is just
every
make
3
sure
years.
Every 3 years.
Yeah. Here's Will Dalton. Davis Daniel remains in the game for Auburn. Took over for Andrew Mitchell in the 5th. Two and one now coming from Davis as Dalton, the 6-foot sophomore out of Spring Hill, Tennessee, can hit the ball out of the yard anywhere in the park. Last 12 weeks of baseball, 14 home runs for Dalton. None this weekend. He's ahead 3-1.
Well, righties have pitched him away the entire series. Every time they miss inside, he's been able to capitalize. This time they're going in with him. Let's see 3-1 what they go with.
This is a perfect night of weather here. You know what you're going to get every afternoon, storms. It happened again today. But it is perfect now. Dalton's on first. That brings up Austin Langworthy, who stepped up in a 2-1 Auburn game in the 9th inning yesterday in Game 2 and absolutely destroyed a baseball. That was his 3rd home run of the year, his 1st in this park this season.
Good time for it, too, in that top half of the 9th inning.
Auburn was able to brush it aside and walk it off in the bottom of the 9th. But, I mean, he hammered it. There's a called strike one. Doesn't strike out much. Good strike zone discipline. Takes what the pitcher gives. You hear that often. Certainly pertains to him. I think earlier I said about 5,000 here. I was wrong. How about 5,958? It is packed. 8th largest crowd in McKeithen Stadium history here for Game 3.
Good changeup.
Right center field and crushed. And caught. Now he's got to scamper back to first. Incredible double play as they get Dalton. Estes with the play of the weekend defensively.
Or is playing Langworthy in left center field. Langworthy drives this ball into right center gap. And Estes lays out, going back. Nice play, but a great presence of mind of getting up in a hurry and being able to relay it to Jarvis, where Jarvis makes a perfect throw to Anthony at first base. Catch Langworthy that was already past second base, thinking score on that.
Reese steps in. Mark that one down. Because if Auburn comes back to tie this game or win a close game, Jay Estes may be the reason. Because if that gets to the wall, we're staring at 3-1 right now.
Right, but Langworthy should just be standing on second. Maybe one step or two past second base, but he cannot go this far. He's thinking this ball is going to fall in, Dalton puts his head down, on that, and once he slips right there, he has no chance. He's in no man's land. That ball gets by Estes, and Dalton is standing at second base. He would score easily. The ball would get by him.
We've seen incredible defensive plays from Will Holland. Now Jay Estes. Auburn has been given by its defense opportunity after opportunity to stay in this ball game. But the bats have to come alive.
Well, there are those moments, those turnaround moments, those great defensive plays that gets your offense going. And maybe that would be one for them.
Going back from third, nearly making a play on the foul ball's Venter, who spins himself into the ground.
Outfield has to be very moist, especially one with the humidity that's going on here tonight, but also with the rain that fell earlier. And it came down.
It did come down.
Way.
You get it every afternoon, somewhere between 2 and 4, 5 o'clock. You're going to get it here.
Welcome to
this
Florida.
Time of year, right?
Lightning capital of the world.
Count runs full now from Daniel Davis, or Davis Daniel rather. I've said to myself 20 times, don't flip those names.
Should have said it 21.
Ground ball. Oh, another great defensive play. Jarvis. Defense is saving the Auburn Tigers. My goodness. First in center field, Estes. Outs number 1 and 2. And then Jarvis deep into shallow center. Wow. Welcome back to Gainesville. Winner take all game 3. Auburn and Florida battling to go to the College World Series. Auburn hasn't been in 21 years. Florida's been to the last 3 and 6 of the last 8. Tommy Mace facing Luke Jarvis, who just made the incredible play, going deep back to his right at second for the final out of the inning. Jarvis in good shape here. 2-0. Jarvis right field. Dalton heading over. Jarvis, oh, it gets to the wall. Jarvis going to go to second, and he will stop there. Dalton out in right, had it spin away from him after it hit the ground, made its way to the wall. Goes down as a single and an error on Dalton, and all of a sudden, leadoff man in scoring position for the Tigers.
Seems like it always happens. You make a nice defensive play and you lead off the inning. That's exactly what Jarvis did. Down and away the pitch, goes the other way, thinking 2, and as soon as he sees this right here, gets crossed up. Will Dalton, ball goes to the fence, and Jarvis smartly enough stays at second, doesn't try to push it to 3 with no outs.
Here's Judd Ward. Shows bunt. Not something Auburn does much of. Hitting coach Gabe Gross, not one that likes to do this a lot. Bottom 3 in the SEC over the course of the season in sacrifice bunts. But this situation's begging for it, especially with a good contact guy in Josh Anthony on deck.
They might not do it a lot, but this guy understands and knows what he has to do. He has to move towards the field, open up the zone a little bit for him to be able to get this ball down. Hold it back. Right there, and you did not see Jonathan India at third base charging hard.
Ward one sacrifice on the season. India playing at the edge of the grass, now creeping forward a little bit more at third. Bell in at first. There's the bunt, and it heads foul.
There's a difference between sacrifice bunting and trying to bunt for a base hit. Right there, Judd Ward Looked like it was more of a trying to bunt for a base hit than sack bunting. Have to move up in the plate, move towards the pitcher. If he would have done that from the get-go, that ball stays fair.
The 1-2 now from Mace. Ward does show bunt, pulls back 2-2.
He shows bunt, but he's deep in the box. If he's going to bunt, just move forward towards the pitcher. Allow yourself room for error.
Would you keep the bunt on here with 2 strikes?
If he does not trust it, this is all on Butch Thompson, knowing that this kid can get it down. I would have him swing away, but look, he's too deep. There's no way right there that from where he's at, with all that motion and that movement that Mace has on his ball, that he can bunt. Stays back, does not move forward, then jabs at the baseball. Ball's out of the zone to start off with.
You see the head coach Butch Thompson talking to the freshman out of Russellville, Alabama, Judd Ward. That pitch had some movement too, away from the hitter. Here's Anthony now with a runner on second. 1 out.
This is what I mean by it. We look at the low third angle right here. Watch the side angle of where he is. He's deep in the box. He has to move forward in front of the plate. That way the previous pitch that he bunted would have been fair, and he would have done his job.
Simply by having more of the fair territory to work with.
You were pretty good at geometry, weren't you?
Yeah, that's all right. All math
Mr.
courses.
Quintana must be very proud of me right now. Thanks, Mr. Q.
Anthony hitting .343 with runners in scoring position. This is a monstrous moment for him in Auburn. And it's 0-2.
Anthony has 2 hits so far in the Super Regional. Both 3 hits. 2 out of the 3 have come with 2 strikes. 2 of them on off-speed pitches. Very good breaking ball hitter. If you do throw it, it better be out of the zone.
Jarvis on second after the single and the error. Here comes the 0-2 from the freshman Mace. In the dirt. To the backstop. And Auburn's tying run is 90 feet away.
This is an ay bendito moment. This is what we say in Spanish, ay bendito. Oh boy.
Can you translate? Is that what you translate that to?
Oh boy.
Okay.
Breaking ball right here. Durand can't get quick enough in front of it. Tries to block it. This ball would have been probably better had if he would have just backhanded it and not hit the dirt yet. See if they go fastball in.
Fly ball to the outfield. Perhaps different variations of a ground ball could tie this game. Infield is entirely in. Josh Anthony this season with a runner on third and less than 2 outs is 10 for 17. That is .588. Anthony, right field, tailing foul, and it is.
They've got an Anthony out with the fastball in. The entire series, the 3 hits he has been pitches out over the plate with off speed. That pitch right there, out over the plate. He's got long arms, looking for something out. We've seen him in the past. Pitches on the inside, he falls back off balance. If they execute in, that outfield better come in, because with the infield in, a lot of bloop singles happen that way. Good pitch.
The at-bat continues. Auburn's biggest of the season right now. And Josh Anthony, frankly, is their hottest hitter over the course of this postseason.
It's because he's not afraid to get jammed. Those are the dangerous hitters in situations like this.
Don't let his slot in the order fool you. He is the 9-hole hitter. Anthony to right field. It'll at least tie the game. Tagging is Jarvis. Here comes the throw. I spoke too soon. No, I didn't. He's safe.
What a throw.
Will Dalton has a cannon in right.
What a throw. What an at-bat. Let's start with the at-bat and then the throw. Watch this right here where he sets and throws, but look where Duran catches the ball. Out front, reaches for it instead of letting it travel. And because he allows it to travel, that hand gets in there before it.
That
Great
call is correct. A phenomenal call by the home plate umpire, Adam Dowdy. They're
Great
going
call.
to look at it. It's our first review of the entire Super Regional here. Because you absolutely can use instant replay on scoring plays, and that is as close as it gets. Did you think for a moment, with speed at third, that play could be that close?
With a great arm, this is what happens. He gets behind it. What an at-bat. He wants it up and in. The ball stays away. Man, Anthony giving it to you, but look where he reaches. He reaches out for it. If he lets that ball travel, and then he can put his foot in there, he'll be out. Instead, he went to go get it. And gets his hand in there. Beautiful slide on the outside part of the plate. Oh, what a ball game. And the bat's in the way. Nobody gets the bat out of the way.
That's a good observation there, too. Ooh, that could have hurt him. I mean, Jarvis has good speed. That ball was hit well into right field. That was no shallow fly. And frankly, it wasn't a situation where Dalton had a chance to get a good running start at it. He's throwing that thing from a flat-footed position against speed coming from third, and he nearly had him.
And this man right here made the right call.
Yep.
What a call, and the positioning where Adam Dowdy was to make the call. Reminds me of my sports officiating class at Florida State. Check this out. Look at the tag box right here. Watch. He gets it. Takes an extra step because he catches it from the right foot.
What a throw. Frankly, this is the only game 3 of the 4 today that looks like it's going to provide late inning drama. We're glad to be here. Holland.
And you go back to the bottom of the 6th inning where the defensive play in center field by Estes, where the play at second base also by Jarvis, then leads off the inning with a big double.
Remember Holland's play. Multiple plays to start a double play in one case. Inning over. But Auburn ties it. Have some plays at the plate, huh? We've had a couple. You're watching the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. We go to the bottom of the 7th in Gainesville. Winner to Omaha. Florida won it all a year ago for the first time. They know Omaha like they know Gainesville. 6 of the last 8 seasons they've been there. Auburn not in 21 years. As that first pitch is yanked well foul and deep by Nick Horvath.
You didn't try to hide your car out there, did you?
We had this conversation yesterday. It's not my car.
That's true.
But I do need to get to the airport in the morning. Davis Daniel out there, 3rd inning of work in relief of Andrew Mitchell. Ground ball, third base, Venter. 1 down. You never know what you're going to get in game 3s in college baseball or clinching games after you've run out usually your first 2 best pitchers, your 2 best pitchers. In this case, we got a freshman, Jack Leftwich for Florida, and a senior Andrew Mitchell from Auburn and Eduardo, they gave their teams every chance here.
It's all up to
you
the
don't always get that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Daniel Davis, a sophomore, on the mound now. Has been on the mound for the Auburn Tigers.
Keenan Bell's first at bat came in as a defensive replacement at first, a couple innings back. Not his first at bat in the Super, however.
Did I say Daniel Davis instead of David?
You did what I did.
I did too.
Wasn't my place to call you on it. Bell steps out. Now Davis Daniel can chew up some innings if need be. Again, he's been a starter in this staff for a long time. Started about the first half of the year. Struggled a bit. Andrew Mitchell slid into that third starter slot. Perhaps some of you have been watching Arkansas and South Carolina, yet you feel the need for a little winner-take-all drama. We're glad to have you aboard. That game's 13-3. This one isn't. Dari Noka and Eduardo Perez with you in Gainesville. 3-1 to Bell.
Good changeup. That's been the reason why Davis Daniel has been able to keep these hitters off balance. He's been able to use that pitch in fastball counts. Then he throws that fastball to elevate it.
Brett Wright, his catcher, is going to go out and chat with him.
I don't blame him now. The last 3 innings, you will see the catcher go out there a lot in tight games. Want to get the sign right.
Game 1 went Florida's way 8-2. Ball 4. Game 2 went Auburn's way with a 3-2 walk-off.
Tried to quick pitch him there with a changeup.
And here's Jonah Durand.
These are the moments he shines. We saw it in the regionals. Maybe he's waiting for his moment. MVP of the regional. Coming in for J.J. Schwartz, which has a broken finger.
0 for 9, 7 strikeouts in the Super. It's incredible. Ends up in the first row after banging off the press box. Flew past the first row and landed there. Bell at first. Strike 2.
Yeah, and that's been the sequence most of the time. Usually that's the pitch for the strikeout, the one they go up in the zone against. He's had a hard time laying off these pitches. Usually they get the second strike with a breaking pitch and then make him chase up. Let's see if they try to climb the ladder again.
Oh boy. It was Durand that was up in the 4th when Kevin O'Sullivan pulled the steal of home. And Nick Horvath on first won his first Academy Award, falling down to confuse Andrew Mitchell.
Up in the zone. This is where Durand has had trouble the entire series, and they continue to go up there. And until he lays off, that's where they'll live. Fastball, can't catch this up there.
And frankly, Kevin O'Sullivan's going to have to make a decision if in the 9th inning of a game like this, Durand's due up. He has other catching options. Durand showed that flash, that power in Gainesville's regional last weekend, but 0 for 10 with 8 strikeouts is 0 for 10 with 8 strikeouts. We go to the top of the order and Lippett.
.95 miles per hour. 38th pitch.
How do you stay loose in moments like this with what is on the line? And is this where experience that the Gators have comes in valuable? 0-2.
Tell you what, after seeing the Auburn Tigers day before yesterday and so far what I've seen from today, you can throw experience out the window right now. These guys are embracing the moment.
Lip it, right field. Back goes Williams to the fence. And he makes the catch. The place was ready to explode. But we stay tied.
NCAA Baseball Super Regionals is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. What's in your wallet?
College World Series champion Florida Gators. They won it for the very first time last season in Omaha, knocking out LSU in 2 games. What's at stake tonight as we go to the 8th inning, tied at 2? Florida trying to make a 4th straight appearance in Omaha, Nebraska in the College World Series. Would be their 7th in 9 seasons. Auburn, year 3 under Butch Thompson. They haven't been to the World Series, though, in the last 6 head coaches, going back to 1997. 21 years and counting, and Auburn would like to put an end to that clock. Michael Byrne in for the 3rd time now in this Super Regional. He gave up the walk-off win yesterday in Game 2. Starts it off against Stephen Williams. He comes in to face 2-3-4 in this Tiger lineup.
I'm just thinking about 1997. I still didn't have any gray hair, and I wasn't even 30 yet. Whew, it's been a while. No comeback to that.
I was a junior in college in 97. I remember that.
You still had eligibility left.
Yeah, nobody wanted it.
Right.
1997, 21 years ago. I'd be willing to say half this roster wasn't born yet for the last time Auburn was in the College World Series. Here comes the 0-2 from Byrne to Williams.
Well, in order to get to Michael Byrne, you're going to have to be able to hit the breaking pitch. He'll throw it any time at any count. Knows how to pitch. 3rd time he's up in this series. 3 days, 3 times up. And when you sit off speed, he'll throw that fastball up in the zone by you. Tough to guess. It's not that he pitches backwards. He just pitches and has a feel for all of the pitches he throws. You're looking soft, he'll throw hard right by you.
Brett Wright, the catcher, 1 for 3, 2 for 10 on the weekend. Byrne has it going. Byrne strikes out well over a hitter an inning. 55 strikeouts in 52 2/3. The next number will blow you away. You know how many batters he's walked in 52, now 53 innings of work?
How many?
4.
That's why Coach Sullivan loves him. And it's not that he's not a max effort pitcher. Coach O'Sullivan trusts that he can go out there back-to-back days.
He's faced 8 Auburn hitters this weekend. He has struck out 6 of them.
All right, has seen his team breaking balls. See if he tries to challenge now and go with a fastball up.
Two down.
Again, you sit soft, and he throws that fastball by you, and it's not an overpowering fastball, but this is why you can't sit on something you can't hit. Remember my old man telling me that all the time. Why are you going to sit on a pitch you can't hit? What can you hit? The fastball? Sit on the heater. He'll throw it to you one of these times if you can lay off the soft stuff.
You telling me your old man knew baseball a little bit?
Oh, a little bit.
The great Hall of Famer. Tony Perez. Venter now steps in, and Byrne just keeps on humming. 1997, the last time Auburn made it to Omaha. Fly ball, tailing foul. It's in shallow right. Over to make the play, Dalton, but it was actually the first baseman, Bell, who had the best shot at it.
What an effort.
Would have been a heck of a play.
Rarely see first basemen go this far to go get this. Lippett is playing almost behind second base. He doesn't have a chance. Right now he's going after it. And he's waiting to see if his outfielder is going to call it. In this case, Dalton. He was also in right center field.
Welcome to game 3, Michael Byrne.
Oh boy, welcome to the game, my friend. First one, heat her up. Second one, heat it up. And third one, don't heat it up because I'm going to do this to you. Ouch.
Big opportunity here for the homestanding Gators. 2, 3, 4 in the order. That includes Jonathan India and Will Dalton. They combined 39 home runs on the season between them. As you see India on deck. Nelson Maldonado will lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th. Omaha on the line. Davis Daniel has been awfully good on the mound for Auburn, and he remains there as we start the bottom of the 8th.
Tough part of the lineup to get through. Nelson Maldonado so far 0 for 3 in this game, 2 for 10 in the regional. Tough guy to get him to chase.
Maldonado, pop up, Holland back, and all-league shortstop makes the play, one away. India, first at bat, first inning, 20th home run of the season. Walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. Every pitch, every at bat, everything critical now.
Well, they've stayed away from Jonathan India again. Right there is a strike. He's been vulnerable up in the zone. Ooh. Missed his.
Each team came into the 8th with 2, 3, and 4 up in the lineup. Exactly what you'd want. Michael Byrne sent 2, 3, and 4 down, packing, swinging in the top of the 8th. Davis Daniel would love to do the same in terms of 3 up, 3 down.
I like him. Davis Daniel already on the rubber, waiting for Indy to get in that box. Good tempo.
That is high. Third baseman Venter, does he have a play? No.
Missed it by that much.
Yep. How about what Davis Daniels given Auburn? 3 innings of work, hasn't given up a hit yet. Walked a couple, 3 strikeouts.
It's been impressive. He's smiling and having a good time also on that mound. This is what you love to see. That's why right now you can throw away all you want the experience. The Auburn Tigers are not intimidated whatsoever. They're playing a gutsy game under a packed house here in Gainesville. They've been able to get Jonathan India with 2 strikes to chase up in the zone with the fastball. He's got the velo.
The Auburn Tigers are sitting here in game 3 after being picked in the preseason 6th, not in the SEC, 6th in the SEC West. Two and 2. Here they are, battling the defending national champions for a spot in Omaha that Florida has simply made theirs over the years. Folks near the Plains, I hope you're enjoying this team. Full count to India.
Fastball up. Right now would be the pitch to get India. Let's see what they go with.
They appeal down to first. Ramon Armendariz says no, he did not go.
Ramon Armendariz. But your Spanish is getting a lot better. Good take right there. 3-2. Jonathan India. They've been throwing him difficult all series long. That's the guy you do not allow to beat as Coach Smith goes and visits the mound.
So here is Steve Smith, first-year pitching coach at Auburn. Davis Daniel has thrown 50 pitches. And this is the big boy. Remember him. They call him Bull. And he's big. And he'll throw a hard fastball at you. We're talking about Cody Greenhill. And he pitched yesterday. And he threw some 40 pitches yesterday. And Butch Thompson last night told me, as we were standing next to a ping pong table, I wouldn't hesitate to throw him out there if he tells me he feels like he wants to go. He must have told him he feels like he wants to go. I didn't play him in ping pong. I played somebody else.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you win?
Yeah.
That's why you're mentioning this, right?
No, it was never supposed to come up. Here's Dalton. India on first. The go-ahead run in the 8th. Dalton tonight 0 for 2 and a walk. 2 hits in the super. Florida in this series with runners on base is 1 for 11.
You have to give credit to the Auburn Tigers pitching staff. They've done a great job, especially with runners at first base, getting double plays. 4 total so far in this series. Big ones.
With runners on base, 1 for 11. That is tonight. I beg your pardon, not in the series. And now the conference between Wright and Daniel.
It happens. Especially this late, knowing how much is on the line. Adam Dowdy, the home plate umpire, he gets it. He understands.
How do you approach Dalton in a dangerous situation with your season on the line?
Well, they've been pitching him in so far effectively, but you still have to show him something away, out of the zone, and then come right back in that inner quadrant.
Left field. Foul.
See where Wright was set up. That's a perfectly executed pitch. Right there by Daniel.
Gators in the game with runners on, 1 for 11. Gators in the series with runners on, 8 for 42. That is a 190 clip.
Fans are getting restless.
Florida has been there. They've done that. Won their last 3 Super Regional Game 3s. Strike 3. What a pitch from Davis Daniel.
Davis Daniel has been getting Will Dalton to look inside the 2 previous pitches. This time, he gives him a little siéntate on the outside corner, down and away. Perfect pitch. Looking in, you cannot adjust away.
I got your siéntate. Langworthy. I know you said sit down. As you were standing up, incidentally.
Oh, yeah. Stretch those legs. Great pitch, though. What an outing so far by Daniel.
One and one. How about this note coming my way from Auburn? Sports Information Director Kirk Sampson. We all love the SIDs in these places. The baseball SIDs in this case, supplying us with information. The last time Auburn went to the World Series in 1997, the baseball Sports Information Director was Scott Strickland, who's now Florida's athletic director. Langworthy, little chopper. Will it stay foul? It was flirting with that line, but it's 1-2. This sophomore has shown up for work tonight. 3 1/3, no hits, 4 strikeouts. He has walked 3. But all in all, if you're Auburn, you'll take what Davis Daniel has given you. The 1-2 to Langworthy coming. Runner goes. Langworthy left field. Judd Ward heading over, makes the catch. He makes the catch. It's the play of the weekend. He just replaced Estes. I got nothing to say, Eduardo.
I'll take over. Wow! Playing down the line. Talk about placement.
Siéntate.
Believe it.
Tonight when we're done, how about SportsCenter? John Butchergross, Kenny Mayne, more on Kevin Durant's retirement plan that came out. Highlights from around the majors and top plays of the college baseball season. Folks, we've seen a couple of them here tonight. SportsCenter coming up next, ESPN and the ESPN app. To the 9th, tie game, Omaha is on the line. Edouard Julien. My guess would be, growing up in Quebec, he did not necessarily dream of Omaha.
Oh, but he knows how to spell it. It's the place where you go to eat fillets with a fork. That's how it was. That's how I learned about Omaha when I got to college. You want to go to Omaha?
What else do you eat them with?
Don't bring
Never
a knife.
mind.
Don't bring a knife. You cut it with a fork.
Thank you. Okay. You said eat them with a fork.
You cut them with a fork.
Omaha beef is real. 2-2 from Byrne in his second inning of work. Struck out the side in the 8th.
You know what's real? Auburn Tigers defense is real. It's kept them in this ball game.
You are not kidding. More on that in just a moment. One out. You talk about defense, Eduardo. Let's take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance. It has been the Auburn defense.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Mr. Langworthy. Why? Because this happened in center field. Meet Mr. Estes. This time, let's go to left, and there's a Ward there for you. Judd Ward. He's enjoying that play.
Unbelievable. I love it. I love the emotion. These young men dream of this moment right now.
I'll be straight up with you. There's a guy on the mound right now by the name of Michael Pern that has struck out 4 in a row, and he's doing it with a mix of pitches.
He has struck out 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the Auburn order. Estes Going to make him play a little defense. Tries to barehand it, can't. Throws it to first. Got him.
Talk about regrouping right there. A lot of rain during the afternoon. Feels a little moist. But right here, tries to barehand it. No need to barehand it. He was fortunate the ball stayed right there. A great pick at first base by Keenan Bell.
Here's Game 2's hero yesterday, Luke Jarvis. Hit the walk-off game winner to the gap. Duran gives chase, but it's out of play. And then misplayed by no fewer than 2 fans. And they still can't find it. I've always wondered how a baseball gets lost in the seats. Byrne has thrown 21 pitches, 15 for strikes, and all 6 first pitch strikes. 0-2. Trying to give his team a chance for the walk-off trip to Nebraska. Reservations have been made. The field is almost set for the College World Series. But there are still a couple of spots left at the table. Arkansas is awfully close to punching one of their own as they lead South Carolina in the 8th, 14-4. And here we go to the bottom of the 9th. 2-2. Gators with a chance to go to Omaha for the 4th straight year. 6, 7, 8 in the lineup. Blake Reese, Nick Horvath, Keenan Bell. Glad to have you with us. Dari Noka and Eduardo Perez with you. And Davis Daniel still doing work right now for Auburn.
No matter the outcome, he's pitched unbelievably, giving his offense a chance.
One and two.
He's been able to pitch to both sides of the plate. When he needs the changeup against lefties, he's had it. When he needs the slider against righties, it's been there.
Off speed, Reese stays alive. Packed house, nearly 6,000 here at McKeithen Stadium at the University of Florida. One away.
That high fastball has been money for Daniel. He's used it effectively late in counts, and he's gotten the chase most of the time.
Here's Horvath. High cheese again.
This might sound crazy, and it might happen, and it could be a home run or not, but the worst thing you can do right now as a hitter is think home run. You have to think line drive. Home runs happen. This is where you get caught in that trap. Swing gets long.
But you're saying he might run into one.
No,
could always run into.
It's not that you run. Any hitter can run into one. It's the matter of just try to stay short and through to the ball.
Breaking ball just misses. 2-1 now. Keenan Bell is on deck. And after him would be Jonah Duran. And we've documented his struggles in this super. Horvath, fly ball. Left field, back goes Holland, in comes Ward. Holland makes the play, despite 6,000 fans trying to make sure he didn't.
Like the communication right there, and you got to give a lot of credit to Holland. He's trusting his teammate. Right there, Ward not making the call until he hears Ward say, I got it, I got it, I got it. The ball is his, and he stayed focused. And as soon as he caught it, he looked back and said, I never heard you. And he goes, yeah, because I never called it. Good communication right there. Trust your teammate.
And here's Keenan Bell up for the second time after becoming a defensive replacement earlier. Bell, hop up. Venter into foul territory. Oh, boy. Nearly gave Bell another life. The only thing better than what we've had is more of what we've had. Let's go. Go in a winner-take-all, and Michael Byrne, Eduardo, has been dynamite.
5 out of 6 hitters he's faced, he's been able to strike him out. Been using the off-speed earlier in the fastball to blow them away, and then he goes to this pitch right there to go get him on an off-speed pitch and another chase. Michael Byrne, 3rd day in a row out. This time, 2 innings, 23 pitches, no high-stress innings. He's been really, really good for Coach O'Sullivan, and he knows he has more in the tank because he doesn't have to pitch full out at 100%. He throws around 80% effort, and that gives him that stamina.
Over the 3 games, Byrne has seen action in all of them. He's faced 13 batters, and he has struck out 10 of them. Here we go to the Auburn 10th. Judd Ward, who made the incredible catch out in left field to end a Gator rally earlier, steps in. Ward, Anthony, and Holland, 8, 9, and 1. That ball hit into left from Ward. Langworthy says, you catch mine, I'll get yours, just not as dramatically. Each team has only played 1 extra inning game this season before tonight. Each team is 1-0.
Something's got to give.
Anthony, little chopper, going to make Byrne play a little bit. Byrne says, okay, 2 down.
I'm going to put this in perspective. So far, 2 2/3 innings pitched, 26 pitches. That's economical.
That's the good word for it. Here's Holland. Singled, stole a base, and scored in the 3rd. Has played phenomenal defense at short. One for 4 tonight, 2 for 13 in the Super. Byrne has faced 8 hitters, all first pitch strikes. Holland, right field. Auburn's got a runner on in the 10th. And he's flirting with second. He went storming around first, just checking to see if Dalton was watching.
That was a good hustle right there, just to put a little pressure on Dalton, just in case he looks up and bobbles the ball, he can get to second base. There's a reason why Palminieri picked him as a collegiate USA shortstop.
Stephen Williams homered yesterday. Two hits in the Super. That ball's in the dirt. Holland going to second. Go ahead run in the 10th is in scoring position.
And that's a tough one also. Same thing happened in the 3rd inning, where Williams got a base hit, and he had gotten a base hit because Holland reached second base with 2 outs. This ball has to be blocked. Duran has to block it with his chest, not with his glove or hands. Keep it in front of him. He knows it too. 9 out of 10 times he gets that ball and he deadens it right in front of him.
By the way, Duran set to lead off the bottom of the 10th for Florida. 9-1-2 coming up for the Gators.
They had the full shift on Stephen Williams at the beginning of the game. This time, you see Deacon Lippett, he's playing on the shortstop side of it. But I'd love to see the second baseman, Reese, a couple steps more on his pull side to his left. Williams lives on that part of the field. Good block there. There we go. Keep that mitt down. Keep it right in front of you.
Williams, just a freshman. And he's been a fantastic one for Butch Thompson's Tigers. What a moment for him against the veteran Byrne. Runner on second. The 2-2 forthcoming. Now Holland was on the move there.
He's got to focus on this hitter right now. Yeah. Holland can go anywhere he wants, or should be.
A base hit in all likelihood is going to score him. He has good speed.
Williams has hit the ball in that 3-4 hole a few times already. Still a lot of room there.
Duran makes another stop. Jonah Duran started in junior college. Left. Worked in sales at Restoration Hardware. Went to another junior college. Got Kevin O'Sullivan's attention. Here he is.
Seen a lot of off-speed pitches down and away in the dirt. Fastball up and in could be the pitch to execute right here. See where they go. Ball. He was sitting soft, did not bite. What a great
How do you take that?
It's too close to take.
Oh my goodness. Kevin O'Sullivan out now. Florida head coach to chat with Adam Dowdy just for a moment to say, all right, I'm heading out.
And this is a good visit. You calm your pitcher down. He wanted that call. Settle him down here. Still have Brett Wright at the plate that you have to focus and execute and make pitches.
Here's what's at stake as we sit in the 10th inning of Game 3. Florida looking for a 4th straight appearance in Omaha, where they won it all a year ago. Auburn hasn't been in 21 years. You see Gabe Gross, the hitting coach, chatting with Brett Wright, the catcher, who's coming up with 2 on and 2 outs against Michael Byrne. Michael Byrne, 38 pitches in games 1 and 2 combined, another 35 tonight. That's 73.
Second time around the lineup already. You saw the takes that Stephen Williams had against Michael Byrne. Brett Wright, last time up, threw him curveball first pitch. Swung for a foul ball. Curveball second pitch. Took it, but flinched heavily on it. And the next pitch was a fastball by him for strike 3.
Just off the plate, 1-0 to Wright. Wright so far on the night, fouled out, singled, grounded, popped out, and struck out. He's been quiet here in Gainesville this weekend. 4th-year junior from New Caney, Texas. Does have 11 home runs, most by an Auburn catcher since 1999.
It was a lot better take that first pitch on the breaking ball and a better swing than the first time he faced him. 37 pitches so far for Byrne. Good take.
He's not missing by much. That'll be foul. How about this number? Auburn fans, this should get you excited. 5 of the last 6 game 3s that have gone to extra innings have been won by the road team. Overall, in game 3s in Supers, 65% have been won by the home team. But it's flipped in extras. The 2-2. Burns steps away. Right, grounder, third, India steps on the bag. Gators have a chance to win it in the 10th. Three brilliant innings from Michael Byrne.
Well, this kid right here, Davis Daniel, has been fantastic. And he's done it with this pitch right here, the fastball. Up, up, down in the corner, and then he go up again, elevating, swings and misses against these Gators that have not figured out that fastball up is a no-no in this man's vocabulary. 67 pitches, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. My man's got it going on.
I'm telling you, you don't want to see him lose a game. You don't want to see Byrne lose a game with what they have given their respective teams out of the bullpen tonight. And here we go. Bottom 10, winner to Omaha. 9-1-2. Jonah Duran starts it up. You know, it's one of those things that stories would be written about if Duran did something special here. 0 for 10 with 8 strikeouts in this Super. 2-0. Rather 1-1, I beg your pardon. Scoreboard in the right field. Part of McKeithen had it wrong. I'll blame it. Is that fair? I should really just wear it.
Yeah. Well, one thing Davis has to do right here, he has to be able to throw that fastball just in the upper quadrant. So far, Duran has not been able to show that he can catch up to it. Tries to keep it down. That might be in his wheelhouse. He has power.
And just now, home plate umpire Adam Dowdy steps out, puts up the fingers, 2-1. The scoreboard out there did say 3-0. The crowd was believing the scoreboard, as you would expect. So it is indeed 2-1 right now to Duran. Now
Good
it's
pitch.
2-2.
Up in the zone right there. That's where you want. Has struggled. Now we showed the highlights. Where they missed? Up. Duran with 2 strikes. He will chase.
That's the only pitch you can throw him here, isn't it?
Just don't miss down.
Ground ball, first base, Anthony. Keeps it, 1 out. Matt Schick. Wow. That's true. This time last year, Alex Faedo, who had just been drafted about an hour earlier, nailed down the final 2 innings to send Florida to Omaha, beating Wake Forest. Here we are in the bottom of the 10th. Leadoff man, Deacon Lippett.
Deacon had a really good at bat against him last time up. Deep fly ball to right field, caught right in front of the fence.
Davis Daniel has gone 5 innings, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, no hits. He's thrown 73 pitches. That's 7 more than the starter Andrew Mitchell threw. Make that 75. I'll update it. 9 pitches more. 2-2. If either Lippett or Maldonado can reach base, the man with the helmet is the SEC Player of the Year, Jonathan India.
And started off this game with a home run to right center field. That was a long time ago.
Off speed, got him. 6th strikeout for Davis Daniel.
Tell you what, he was getting those lefties out with that changeup and then using the fastball to elevate. All of a sudden, here comes his uncle, Teal Carlito's coming in. Curveball.
Is this what Ravitch and the guys get on Major League broadcast?
A little bit of this.
I'm jelly. Maldonado steps in. 0 for 4 tonight. 2 for 11 in the Super.
And they've been pounding him in the last 3 at-bats.
Maldonado to third. Nice play, knocked down by Venter. No throw.
That's huge.
India will get a shot here.
I'll tell you what, if you're a Florida Gator fan, after this play, you're guarding the line, no doubles. Ball's hit to his left. You ask him, he'll tell you should have made that play. Instead, you got Jonathan India. You said it earlier, SEC Player of the Year. First rounder, 5th pick in the country. There shouldn't be anyone in this stadium sitting down right now.
Steve Smith, pitching coach, walks out now. Turns the walk into a jog. Now they've had their big boy, Cody Greenhill, warming up. He pitched a little yesterday. Really good stuff. There he is. But he's a freshman. Not that we haven't seen freshmen be big for Auburn all season. He's one of them that has. No change.
We got a full house here, and I'm in shock. The fans are actually just sitting down, relaxed. Full house. I would think that they'd be standing right now.
I'll tell you this. Once Brett Wright squats behind the plate and India puts that bat up on his shoulders, let's see what happens here.
You making a call here? With the fans.
I know what they need. I make a call what they need to do. Davis Daniel, the sophomore. Jonathan India, the Player of the Year in the league. Runner on first, 2 down. If you're Florida, you have what you want. Oh, and 2.
Tell you what,
no fastballs.
Bottom of the 8th inning came, and Uncle Charlie came knocking at the door and said, "I'm home, folks." He's been throwing it. Threw it to Deacon Lippett, and now, when he needs it the most, 0-2 to Jonathan India.
If India should find a gap, Maldonado scoring is not a given.
Well, outfield is playing very deep. They're playing no doubles defense.
There you see it. Just shy of the track and left and right. Deep in center as well.
Venter playing no doubles down the line. Almost out of the picture.
Runner goes. Inside. They concede the base. And now
outfield has to come in. The no doubles is out now.
The runner that would send them to Omaha yet again is on second base.
I'll tell you what. You don't have to give in here. It's 2-2. I've seen it done before. The good old let's put the 4 fingers up and then all of a sudden throw a fastball right down the middle for strike 3. Would Auburn give one of their trickeries here? He's going to squat. Yes, he is. Hey,
You're
you
not.
never
Come
know.
on. Oh, my goodness.
You never know.
That's foul. Davis Daniel, former starter, turned reliever, who's given 5 of the best innings he's ever given in the biggest moment he's ever had against Jonathan India, who homered in the first, is the SEC's Player of the Year, and was taken in the Major League draft at number 5 by the Reds.
That's just very shallow in center field.
Just foul.
He sped him up now with that fastball inside. Opened him up with 2 curveballs, and watch this fastball trying to get it by Jonathan India. No can do.
How many people in the state of Alabama are right now trying to catch their breath?
These seats must be comfortable. People are still sitting down. I got an issue with this.
You know what? I'm not going to. What a moment. The 2-2 again.
Ooh. I think that caught Mr. Dowdy by surprise behind the plate.
Rhett Wright thought it was strike 3. I did. You did. Daniel did. Because it might have been.
Ay, yo creo que voy a empezar a hablar español because I forgot all my English right there.
I thought that might have been a case of if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it in English.
I just forgot how to speak English. It happens.
That was close.
Watch
and
this
now,
play right here. Do not count. Do not think that he will throw a ball right here. I'm telling you right now, I've seen this play done before.
So you're saying throw the hand out for ball 4 and fire it down the middle.
And squat down. Jonathan India has to be on his feet right here.
I guess they would say turnabout is fair play, correct? After the O'Sullivan call to steal home.
He's going to squat down. Okay. He just walked him. He didn't want any part of it.
No, he didn't.
He felt squeezed. He was squeezed.
That ball call will be long discussed around Auburn University if they don't get out of this inning and force an 11th. I'm baffled how that was called a ball. And here comes Steve Smith.
Hey, how about this text right now?
How about that?
Charles Barkley
Hello.
watching right now. I wonder if he thought it was a strike or not.
Mr. Barkley, good to have you along for the ride.
Why don't you take a look if you missed on this pitch?
Daniel thought it was strike 3. Wright thought it was strike 3. They were both wrong. Here comes Bull. Cody Greenhill. Big, talented, hard-throwing freshman. He gave up to the man who will be on deck when we start. Austin Langworthy, a shot in the 9th inning yesterday. As everybody's giving Davis Daniel exactly what he deserves. And this crowd, props to Florida Gator baseball fans. They recognize what he gave his team. Winner, of course, goes to Omaha. The rest of the field is complete. The winner will face Arkansas. The times have been announced. The winner of this game will be in the final game Sunday. And it makes sense that the last two teams to have to play game threes would be the last game of the first round in Omaha. Did you get an answer from Barkley on what he thought of that pitch?
Oh, yes, I did. And let's just say he said yes.
Yes. Here we go with Cody Greenhill. Second straight day. He has made his way to the mound. Big 6'4" freshman. Built a bit like Charles Barkley.
Cody Greenhill yesterday came in the game and was fantastic.
Came in 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, a walk and a strikeout. Again, the run was a blast off the bat of Austin Langworthy. Now, 2 outs, 2 on. Langworthy may not make his way to the plate. But Will Dalton will. There are Greenhill's numbers from game 2. So he will first face Will Dalton. Runner at first means nothing. Runner at second, Nelson Maldonado, means Omaha. Dalton tonight, hitless. Strike 1. The college baseball world is watching. Many that may not have watched a game all season, watching. Glad to have you with us in Gainesville. Oh, 0-2.
Got to be careful. They pitched him in the entire day. Will Dalton, as we have a little slippage out there. I told you it's moist out there, ain't it?
I just told you how many are watching.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Brown's crew's done such a great job, but hey, wear some cleats. Hey.
Oh, that's a not top 10 nominee, folks. You said it early. It rained a lot today.
It did.
It's wet. Get some cleats on, young man. That's a foul ball. That's a foul ball. No play. It's dead.
That was close right there because I thought that ball was in front of the plate and he was out of the box at the time. Watch right here and you decide for yourself. Swing, he's out of the box and almost in front of the plate. The ball, yes, it did hit behind the plate, but it looked like it was spinning forward.
If Auburn gets in 11th, 4, 5, and 6, Venter, Julian, and Estes are due up. Dalton. Hollins got it. Let's go to the 11th. What do you say? What else are you doing on a Monday night? To the 11th we go as Omaha needs its 8th team. 4, 5, 6 coming up for Auburn. And Michael Byrne just keeps chugging along.
40 pitches so far in this game. Let's recall he did pitch 2 innings in game 1. Pitched yesterday. And again today.
Brendan Venter will lead it off. Struck out in the 8th his last time up. 1 for 10 in this Super Regional. in the bottom of the 11th. The Gators would have Langworthy, Reese, and Horvath. 5, 6, and 7. That ball hit into left center. Horvath, 1 out. All right. Had an incorrect bracket a moment ago. Let's take a look. The winner of this game will face Texas Tech. Texas Tech will get the winner of this Game 3 winner-take-all battle right now in Omaha. That will be the final game on Sunday. Arkansas will face Texas, old Southwest Conference rivals.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
You aren't kidding. So 1 out now for Julien. Julien, foul ball, 0-2. He has been really eerily quiet here in Gainesville. After putting up 68 RBIs in the regular season, 17 home runs. Ground ball into the hole. Second baseman Reese over. Byrne covers like he should. 2 down.
Nice job by Byrne. And watch what here, Jonathan India. I thought he was going to go walk towards him. This guy's throwing all he has out there. Be good if an infielder just goes, talks to him, calms him down a little bit. Make sure he executes well against Estes, which is up at the plate with 2 outs. Smart move right here. Going to catch his breath.
He's thrown 48 pitches, 5 strikeouts in 3 2/3. Estes, center field. Horvath. Nothing doing for Auburn. Langworthy, Reese, Horvath in the Gator 11th. Yes, gentlemen.
Oh boy, those are 2 characters there.
Indeed. Austin Langworthy leading off here in the 11th. Langworthy, Reese, Horvath. Langworthy has been absolutely robbed the last 2 times up. He also homered off of Greenhill yesterday in the ninth. How much do you think that's in Greenhill's head?
No, he knows.
You don't
and Langworthy also knows.
Right field, Langworthy, deep, gone. From one home to another, the Gators are going back to Omaha.
What a gutsy performance by the Auburn Tigers. Wow. And this team right here, the Florida Gators, they know one thing. Omaha.
Austin Langworthy had not homered in this park all season until yesterday. Off of Greenhill. Right field and gone. Then he got him again. And Steven Williams thought he had it. Off of his glove and out.
Oh, he will have some sleepless nights thinking about that one. And this kid right here is going to have one kind of night tonight here in Gainesville. Walk-off.
Auburn remaining on the field. The two teams will shake hands after what has been an incredible 3 games.